Starliner project for Boeing was reported to be $1.47 billion last year. Considering the additional time and resources spent on repairing Starliner systems in the latter part of last year and throughout more than a third of this year, it's likely that this figure has increased even further. Indeed, the investment in Boeing's Starliner program has reached billions of dollars. In 2014, Boeing secured a contract worth up to $4.2 billion from NASA, with an additional $300 million allocated for the development of a vehicle intended to ferry astronauts to the ISS. At the same time, Starliner showcased impressive designs, prompting NASA to pin high hopes on its success. However, this substantial investment has also invited heavier criticism as the delays with Starliner have persisted. The significant financial losses incurred by Boeing are largely attributed to Starliner's prolonged delays. Originally slated for a crewed mission in 2017, the schedule was subsequently pushed back to 2018 due to design modifications and internal system adjustments. However, in 2018, a hypergolic fuel leak occurred during a delayed flight attempt. The following year, Boeing encountered issues with the parachute system during major testing. Subsequent failures included difficulties with docking Starliner to the ISS. It wasn't until 2022 that Starliner finally achieved success with a successful journey to and from the ISS. A crew flight was slated for later that year but faced numerous delays thereafter. Last year, Boeing disclosed electrical and parachute faults with Starliner, resulting in further delays. However, as highlighted earlier, these issues have since been addressed. It has undoubtedly been a challenging journey for Starliner, culminating in the upcoming first crew flight. Certainly, the persistent delays with Starliner have led to significant impacts on both Boeing's and NASA's plans. NASA's creation of the Commercial Crew Program aimed to regain autonomy on the ISS and reduce dependence on Russia following the retirement of the space shuttle. However, it's been a decade since then, and Starliner has yet to fulfill its assigned task. This delay has likely caused NASA to miss many of its ISS-related plans. Fortunately, NASA has been supported by Dragon, which boasts an extremely reliable launch frequency, enabling continued ISS operations until its retirement. Speaking of the ISS, it's essential to note that all organizations have decided to retire this space station by the end of this decade or early next. This leaves only about 6 to 7 years for Starliner to complete its mission. Originally, both Starliner and Dragon were assigned 6 missions each. However, due to Starliner's delays, NASA procured 8 additional missions with Dragon, bringing the total to 14. SpaceX has already completed 8 of these missions, underscoring Starliner's direct defeat against Dragon. Unlike before, when Starliner had ample time, it now faces a race against time to fulfill its obligations. With 6 missions to accomplish in 6 to 7 years, Starliner is slated to fly once per year. While this might sound manageable, Starliner has never transported crew members, raising uncertainties about its success. Any additional problems could lead to months or even years of delays for Boeing to rectify. Furthermore, as time passes, the task will become increasingly challenging, especially when Starliner needs to launch more than one mission per year. This underscores the critical importance of the first crew mission, as its success will pave the way for a positive future for Starliner. In stark contrast to the situation with Boeing's Starliner, its primary competitor, SpaceX's Dragon, continues to set remarkable records. Skipping Dragon 1, let's focus on Dragon 2 to highlight its superiority over Starliner. After its test flight in 2020, SpaceX has executed 8 crew flights as part of NASA's program, with the most recent, Crew 8, occurring in early March. Additionally, SpaceX and NASA plan to conduct another crewed flight, Crew 9, around August of 2024. Consequently, SpaceX has already completed more than half of its assigned missions. Furthermore, in terms of cargo missions, SpaceX has significantly ramped up its efforts, recently launching Dragon 2's 10th mission, CRS-30, at the end of March. These accomplishments undeniably overshadow Starliner's progress. Not only does Dragon facilitate safe travel for crew members between Earth and the ISS, but it also has achieved an astounding reuse record, with one capsule completing 5 missions, surpassing SpaceX's previous limit. This milestone isn't solely attributed to NASA's missions, though. as Crew Dragon also undertakes private missions. SpaceX has indicated their willingness to raise this limit if the capsule continues to demonstrate safe operation in the future, further enhancing reusability. This strategy aligns with SpaceX's approach with the Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy, resulting in significant cost savings, heightened competitiveness, and increased launch frequency. In contrast, while Starliner is also reusable, I doubt it can match the milestones set by SpaceX, given its current mission count. Even upon completing NASA's missions, the future for Starliner appears bleak, especially with Dragon dominating the private and government launch markets. Additionally, the impending entry of the Dream Chaser spaceplane, scheduled for its first mission this year, promises to intensify competition for Starliner. Thus, despite the initial support from NASA and the substantial